Brian, thanks for joining us. Before we get into looking ahead to the weekend's game at Shrewsbury, just assessing the general sort of picture in League Two at the moment. Now down to what, Class 8 big fixtures for you between now and the end of the schedule season. How satisfying is it that you're still in there with some real big hitters?
Probably a little bit mixed, if I'm being honest, Gray. So on one hand, it's pleasing that we are still in the mix. I think we're 2 points behind Grimsby, who take up that 7th slot. I do think there's just one slot available, because I don't think anyone's catching Swindon or above. So I think it's between probably about 4 or 5 teams for that one slot, and we're in the mix. But if you assess it on a whole, I still think it's disappointing and frustrating, just with the amount of points that, in truth, we've probably thrown away. If you look the Bristol game, you can't be 1-0 up on the 87th minute and then come away with nothing. And that's happened on different occasions throughout the season. So we've left points out there, which is disappointing. But you've got to find the positives in that still. We still remain in a position where we can make it happen. And we've got 8 massive games to ensure that we end up where we want to end up.
Must have been looking at my questions, because that was my next question was, how many do you think there are still involved in it? And how vital is it now that, yes, you might have dropped points, but how vital is it you get every point that you can?
Yeah, we got to start winning games of football again, haven't we? We've had 3 or 2 out of the 3 anyway disappointing results, with one really poor performance, which was the Walsall game. I felt in the Bristol Rovers game we were good in the first half, but then completely went in the second half, which is why we ended up coming away with nothing. And I felt it was quite an even game on Tuesday night. I didn't think there was much in the game. I thought they scored when we were probably having our best little period. So against the run of play, which is a bit of a sucker punch. But what it did show when we did go behind, although it probably could have gone 2 behind, we didn't. So we stayed in it. And the lads showed real togetherness to stay in it and get something away from the game. And that point, come the end of the season, after this next 8 that we've got remaining, might end up being a vital point in the end.
So tension grows as we get towards the end of the season amongst the supporters, basically. I'm looking at how important is it for you and a part of the management team and Lee to be disciplined and be calm from the side and off the field as well, and on the field when you're playing. You've got to try and show that sort of togetherness on the bench, not getting carried away, basically.
Yeah, I think it's important you remain calm and focused on what the challenge is ahead. I felt we didn't show that on the pitch very well against Walsall. We went one behind in that first half. And we almost played with a little bit of panic and rushed and, we've got to score, and it probably wasn't what was needed on the pitch at the time. It needed to remain calm and relaxed, similar to the Tranmere game. We went 1 behind in the Tranmere game, but I felt we kept playing how we wanted it to look, and in the end we ended up getting on the right side of the result. So even in the moments that are going against you, it's important that not just us as staff, but the players remain focused and calm, and stick to what we want it to look like and how we work throughout the week to hopefully enable us to get into areas of the pitch and create them moments that will hopefully lead into goal scoring.
Well, I think Saturday's game would test all that, won't it? Because there's a sold-out away following. 1,700 fans, I think, around about are going to be there. So they'll want you to get those 3 points. I know all players and management want to get those 3 points, but again, it's about remaining calm and being switched on to the jobs that you're asking the players to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and the fans have been magnificent. I even thought after the game on Tuesday night, the fans that travelled, I thought they were outstanding at the end of the game. They'd have been just as frustrated as what we were in terms of the result and elements of the performance. But they were in full voice at the end of the game, singing, sticking with the players. And they don't understand how much that extra belief it gives for the players when they know they've got their back, and I'm sure that they'll bring an outstanding atmosphere for us on Saturday and really be behind them. But at the same time, we've got to make sure we put on a performance that they've got something to sing about and cheer, and hopefully the two go hand in hand and we can come away with the 3 points on Saturday.
Now, Saturday's House have just recently had a change of manager, and a couple of results in the last couple of games have gone against them as well. But they've done well, haven't they, to go where they are from where he actually came in and when he took over.
He's done outstanding. He's done magnificent. They were only heading in one direction, weren't they? Truth be told, before he came in, he's come in, he's steadied the ship. He's got some excellent performances, not just at home but also away performances as well. Yes, they've had a couple of blips in the last couple of games, but he's got them extremely organised, a real goal threat on transitions and turnovers, and they look like they're a team that are playing for each other and playing for the manager. We know it's going to be a really difficult game. They won't give up much opportunities, which again it comes down to us now remaining patient through them large periods of the game if things don't open up, and stick to what we believe and think is going to give us the best opportunity to win the game and get the 3 points.
How do you view sort of the situation where you are now? Is it exciting? Are you nervous? Tension building? How do you look at it?
It's exciting, isn't it? You want to be in this position. What you don't want to be, you don't want to be 6 points further behind where you haven't got anything to play for. Yes, it's frustrating at the same time that we should be a few points higher up and in a slightly better position. But we've still got things to play for in these remaining 8 games, and there's a massive goal at the end of it if we can make sure we get a few wins, that you'd rather be in this position than be completely out of it. Yes, frustrating that we feel that we should be in a slightly better position, but it's still all to play for.
Let's get to the treatment room then. It's got more or less nearly empty at the moment, but can you bring us up to date how you feel that quite a lot of those players have come back, how they are now fitness-wise? Are they close to being fully fit and going at it as you know they can? And CT came off at half-time on Tuesday night. What's the updates there?
Yeah, so we still obviously we're managing the load and minutes of certain individuals. Emre is one that obviously we're still building. He got a good chunk of minutes in his legs on Tuesday. He'll be good to go again from the start if selected on Saturday. Max Sanders was another one, just building up his minutes. We knew he wasn't going to be able to fulfil the full 90 minutes, but he felt fine after Tuesday nights. He'll be in a position again where he can go again. Jack Lancaster still probably another week where we've got to be mindful of his minutes. He's not in a position to start this coming Saturday, but again his minutes can increase from this weekend, and then hopefully from next Saturday he'll be in a position where he can start. Connor Thomas we knew wouldn't fulfil the full 90 minutes on Tuesday night. We made the decision to start him as opposed to bringing him on as a sub because we knew he'd be able to play a part of the game. So Connor coming off, we knew he was going to come off at some point. Connor just felt a little bit tight when we did bring him off at half time, but I don't think it's anything too serious. Shiloh Tracy due to start for the under-21s next week, which is a massive boost for him and a massive boost for us. We've got him scheduled down to be involved in a couple of under-21s games in the next 2 weeks, and then hopefully if he comes through that, he'll be in a position where he might be able to get on the pitch and have an impact for us.
Well, let's just stick with that then, because that's great news, you know, and it's relief. I think everybody's relieved to hear what you've just said.
Yeah, made up for him. It's been over 12 months. Really frustrating period of time for him. They obviously they had the setback where he had to have it re-inlined in the first place, which obviously set him back a few months because there was a chance if he hadn't have had the reset, he'd been back and had been playing by now. But that's part and parcel of it. You have to get over them setbacks, and he has done. In the last 3 weeks now, he's been training with us fully, full contact, full training sessions. Looking like the Shiloh pre-injury, which is great news for everybody and even more so for himself. Now he's obviously just got to get over that barrier and tick a few more boxes off actually in games. So because it's been such a long period of time without playing, it's important that we do things right by him and get him involved in a couple of 21 games first. Hopefully he comes through them unscathed, and then hopefully he'll be ready to go in maybe the last 4 or 5 games of the season.
Well, let's stay and finally on a great news bit. Recognition for a player who's come through the academy, got himself going in the first team, become more of a regular this season. 7 goals as well. He's been selected, of course, for the Welsh under-21 squad. Is Callum Aegis.
Yeah, he's been excellent, hasn't he? He's had a really good season on the whole. If you asked him, he'd probably think he probably should be having a couple more goals to his tally. But one thing Callum's always been, he's been a goal scorer right the way through. Even in his younger days, 7, 8 years old, he's always found the back of the net. So it's always something that we knew Callum would be as he gets older, and if the more minutes he gets on the first team pitch, he's a goal threat. He's still got a lot of development and a lot of learning to do, but he's going in the right direction. He's got a bright future ahead of him.